As Gordon Marketing, we greet you across the nation. We now, we're going about 30 states strong. My name, Tim Lankford, as one of the executive directors here at Gordon Marketing, hardly greet you for this call. I know the plans I have for you. I know I have plans to prosper you and not harm you. I've got plans to give you a future and a hope. I love that scripture from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, that he gives us that exhortation to literally a mantle for us to take, hold it over your shoulders with pride, knowing that somebody much greater than you and I has good plans for us. He has interest in our prosperity, and I don't believe in the Word of God as a prosperity gospel. I don't believe in that. I do believe he's given many of us major ability to go out and be extremely prosperous. It's amazing how many people are willing to sit back and pray their heart out and want God to make great movements in their life and in their finances, and they'll sit on their butt with great prayer. I love fervent prayer. I believe when you mix that fervent prayer with activity, wow, have you got a combination. And you're going to hear from the numbers that you're going to hear this morning. You will hear from just a few of the agents that have been going out and making it happen. And as you know, I poke my nose into sales a little bit too, but I don't want you to get distracted with my sales. I want you to hear about everyone else's, and we'll be able to do that through my lovely assistant, somebody who I know many of you guys have already started to reach out and have Elisha help you. And Elisha will be the one to share the numbers this morning from both the life, what we call life production, and annuities. On the life side, now if you're on this team, you're going to hear numbers of what folks have written here in about the last week to 8 days or so of life premium, meaning it will be either a simplified issue term, even the fully underwritten term. It'll be on the IUL, single premium whole life. If it was a life sale, you're going to hear those numbers, and then she will also share with you numbers for the annuity. On the life sales, you're pretty much making what the numbers that you are hearing, unless it's on the Fed program where the leads are provided for free. That one is on basically like a 35 or 40% basis, depending on your production levels. But on the annuity side, go ahead and count on that being anywhere from 4 to 8%. So when she says $100,000 annuity, that means that person made somewhere between $4,000 and $8,000. You're not on this board. I want you there next week. I implore you to go out and make it happen with that family in the field so that you can be on this leaderboard. Elisha, would you be so kind to share the leaderboard this week? Oh, Elisha, we're still not hearing you. We don't hear you. I hear you in my other office, but we don't hear you online. It sounds like you're almost unplugged. If not, why don't you come on in here in my office here, Elisha, and I'll let you just speak off of my microphone here. Oh,
can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. Whatever you did, keep doing that.
I unplugged and replugged it back in.
Perfect.
All right. So good morning, everyone. It's been beautiful here this week. We've got lots of rain. At least it's not snow. My daughter's first prom's tonight, so I'm super excited to get the weekend started. Lots and lots to do. So here we go with the leaderboard for the third week of April. And first I'm going to read off the top four annuity producers for the week. In the number 4 spot, we have West Young, 1 application, $110,000. Number 3, Mike McNeely, 1 application, $161,744. And number 2, Gary Schleisman, 1 application, $199,450. And the number 1 spot for top annuity producer for the week is Lisa Heron, 1 application, $250,000. Congrats to you, Lisa, and to the rest of the top 4. Great job. Now we'll move on to the top 20 life producers for the 3rd week of April. All of these agents are averaging at least $1,000 per week. At number 20, we have Miles McWilliams, 1 application, $1,253. At number 19, Justin West and Stephen Crane, 2 applications, $1,277. At number 18, we have Randy Petras Jr., 1 application, $1,439. At number 17, we have Del Rice, 1 application, $1,545. Number 16, Anna Rios, 3 applications, $1,626. In the number 15 spot, we have Eric Coons, 1 application, $1,655. Number 14, Tim Bennett, 1 application, $1,789. And number 13, Michael Fenwick, 2 applications, $1,792. And number 12, Stan Targos, 1 application, $1,930. Number 11, Elizabeth Grady, 2 applications, $2,481. And now for your top 10. At number 10, Jim Meixner, 3 applications, $2,568. Number 9, Kevin Kennard, 1 application, $2,842. Number 8, David Perkins, 2 applications, $3,602. Number 7, Millie Gailey, 1 application, $4,221. Number 6, Keith Love, 1 application, $4,221. And now for your top 5 life producers for this week. Number 5, James DeWitt, 1 application, $6,656. Number 4, Randy Patrizzi Sr., 2 applications, $6,831. Number 3, Hal Grayson, 1 application, $7,686. Number 2, Danielle Byrne, 5 applications, $10,753. And your number 1 top life producer for the 3rd week of April is our very own Tim Lankford. 4 applications, $15,650. Congrats to you, Tim, and to everyone else who made the top 20 this week. You all did an amazing job. And as always, you can email me or call me if you need anything, Elisha@gordonmarketing.com, and that's ELISHA, or you can call me at the office at 800-388-8342, extension 178. Everyone, have a great weekend.
Thank you, Miss Alicia. That's terrific. Thanks, Fred. I appreciate the comment. There's so many things that I want to share. It's almost like that proverbial cup that the water's just flowing over. So many things that can be life-changing on a couple programs that we are offering here through Gordon Marketing that I think you're going to be thrilled with. And even our featured speaker this morning, Mrs. Danielle Byrne, Bobby would be very mad at me if I called Danielle Miss. Bobby is just a wonderful career Navy man for our government, and her husband, and he and Danielle have 2 beautiful children that Danielle I know will share about as well this morning. I'll say 90% of that of what you heard on the numbers this week of the 15,000 that I wrote. 90% of it was maybe, let's see, I did about 3,000 of that in mortgage protection business, which is a good week. You've heard in our top 20 on the simplified issue side of the business, most of that business, we had many more writing business this week, but we really are just trying to keep it to just the top 20. You're at 50,000, over 50, almost on track to make 55,000 with the number 20 in the nation. The top 10, you heard top 10. You couldn't even be in the top 10 unless you're on track to make $100,000. Guys, so many beautiful blessings that you have that you can share with those families in the field, and it comes back to you. You can be such a blessing to your family, to your church, to your charity by making it happen for the families. Okay, guys, now that makes a big difference. Well, I think the feedback has gone away a little bit. But Miss Danielle, I am so thankful that you took some time this morning of your incredibly busy schedule. You've gone from a over $200,000 income from last year, and you're already on track to do more than that this year. You make me so proud to be able to introduce you to our listeners. If you want to try to maybe connect again, Danielle, I am not able to unmute your line. I will call Danielle on the phone if we're not able to connect with her. Danielle has done a tremendous job with her mortgage protection and her final expense, and as you heard, those are real numbers of what she made last year, personal income, running leads. Danielle runs leads approximately within 2 hours of her home there in Virginia Beach. And let me try this again. Danielle, see if I can unmute your line. You know what, Danielle, I'm just going to go ahead and call you on the phone because for some reason we're not connecting, but the phone seems to usually do a pretty good job as well. Let's see if
Hey, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
We hear you terrific, as well as I see you on the list of our attendees, but for some reason it wasn't connecting audio. Girl, I use your story so much. You are so incredibly busy with having 2 young children at home. You have you happily married, putting together a household, and yet you're out writing anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. I would say, well, if you did over $200,000 last year, on average, you're putting in $20,000 a month. Everyone wants to know how you're doing it.
Well, it's always humbling to be asked to be on a call, and so I thank you for the opportunity and the trust that you put in me to help everybody who's listening. You know, the business itself, well, while it's like no other opportunity that I've ever seen, the business itself lies in, simplified issue, life insurance business, whether that be mortgage protection or final expense, or annuity volume, lies in leads and schedule. Leads, dial, and schedule. It's really the 1, 2, 3 shuffle. Lead, dial, and schedule. You have to be very disciplined with your time. So, for example, I think I've always been relatively disciplined with my time, but if you're not disciplined with your time, all you have to do is get a Gmail account and play around with the Gmail calendar, and I tell you, I wouldn't make it home at night, I think, if it wasn't for my Gmail calendar. It was, because it tells you kind of where to go and what to do and when to do it, and that's how I organize my time as efficiently as I can. My daughter's gymnastics, my son's golf, it's all in there, and it's all in there, and there are some things that are non-negotiable in my family life that I have to attend to, and those go in the calendar too. So being strict with my time is important. I think that as a whole, working in this business, there's so much value to knowing who you are and what you will and won't do. So, for example, if you know that you know that you can't produce $10,000 a week or $5,000 a week, whatever your goal is, if you know you can't produce that in 15 appointments, you have to make 25 appointments. You have to know what your numbers are, because the numbers are what translate into your ability to earn a consistent income. A lot of the preconceived notions about commission-based sales are just basically built on a lack of knowledge and a lack of security in what your own numbers are. So, for example, someone says, oh, is that just commission-based? Well, you're probably saying that like that because you're lazy and you won't be able to trust yourself to actually do the work. So I know if I sit down on a Monday, which is typically my dial day, I have to dial until 15 appointments are made, and not 15, appointments where the person says that they might be there, they're not sure, and that they really don't want you to come, but you put it in your calendar anyway. You have to be honest with yourself. 15 appointments, for me, that's my number. If you can do it in 10, God bless you. If you need 20 or 25, you're probably more like the norm. But I like about 15 appointments. I have a colleague who does a similar amount of business, and she sets 25 appointments a week. But she just knows herself. She knows what she needs to do to produce the number that she needs to produce. And it's not always going to come out on the nose. It's not always going to be on the nose. Some weeks it's going to be a lot more, and some weeks it might be a lot less, but it's always going to come out in the wash. So it should come out about even. And when those numbers stop adding up, then you can take a look and see if there's something that maybe you are not doing that you were doing at one time. So, Mondays start with setting appointments, and the thing is that if you want to set a good amount of appointments, you need to have leads. I'm not saying that your warm market will not buy insurance. They might, okay? But I have had many family members pass away without life insurance. So if I was waiting for them to be my clients, I would go out of business, So that being said, you need a lead flow. You need to have a lead flow. I have a very strong lead flow because I'm at the point in my business where I know without leads I can't make money. That's just the way it is. So I get like 10 final expense leads a week, and anywhere I have to take what comes in. So I get anywhere from 5 to 10 mortgage protection leads a week, usually from the lower end of 5. But if I need to purchase older leads to have more of a database to call from, I'll do that. I don't care, new lead, old lead, whatever the case is. There's usually something that I can do to help people. So I usually run my 15 appointments I usually do like an 8 and a 7. I'll do Tuesday and Wednesday. If I can't make people or I miss people because I'm writing business, I usually reschedule them to Friday. I do need that one day in between to breathe, come up for air, kind of, submit my business. I do have an admin, and she's absolutely fantastic, and I would not be able to do the amount of volume that I do if I didn't have her. There's no way. There's no way one human being, with kids or not kids, married or not, could do the work that she does for me. She is fantastic. So if you are the type of person right now that looks like you have the potential to pay $20,000 a month, you need to invest in an admin, which is not easy, but it's worth it. It's going to free you up to make more money. Tim, am I on track with where you wanted me to go? You have questions for me? What do you want to hear?
You've already generated some questions from our listeners. Excuse me. How many leads or how many dials to make those 15 appointments is coming in?
Do you want the real answer?
Well, just this time. We'll keep it secret, just this time.
Okay, now the question is one more time, how many leads to make 15 appointments?
Or even start with even before that, how many dials are you making those 15 appointments?
I dial the phone until 15 appointments are set. I don't track my dials. But if I'm noticing that it's taking longer, I'll track my dials and my contacts and my set. So on average, the ratio goes somewhere like 35 dials, 10 contacts, 7 appointments, something like that.
So the success is really reflective on the newer leads, right? Because you don't know how many dials you're going to make to finally reach someone. It may take 5 or 10 times to dial that one person in order to reach them.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter, right? Because your ultimate goal is, I don't have my 15 appointments yet. So a good rule of thumb, it's probably been closer to anywhere from 100 to 150. A good rule of thumb for 15 appointments. It sometimes will take 100. Sometimes you may be able to do it in 50 dials. But your ultimate goal is at 15 appointments.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, there's times where, I mean, you know, you have to dial at different times during the day. So I would take a day for the phone. So, you know, do a morning session and then an early afternoon to evening session, because people aren't going to be sitting by the phone waiting for your call as much as we would love them to be. It just doesn't work like that, you know. And I mean, I have so many leads. I probably have a problem. I probably should, like, let go of some of the leads, you know, but unless somebody really upsets me, I won't throw it out. So, I mean, I don't have a problem calling people from a long time ago, because the thing is it's very, very self-centered and egotistical to think that we know what another person needs or what they're thinking. So if you have a lead from a year ago, how do you know that that person didn't just lose one of their closest family members and you're going to call that day and talk about life insurance and they're going to invite you over? You just don't know. So if you don't like, some people don't like calling the same lead 10 times, especially whether it's new or old. Just have enough of the old leads that you didn't get to still dial through. It still counts as a dial if you track your dials. So, you know, that's just something that to keep in mind.
Perfect. Now going back to the leads, and absolutely candor. Don't hold anything back. If you're getting, you know, 100 leads a week, we're now real healthy. We're about 38, 39 states right now. So you're pretty well spread. We've got a gal out in Hawaii, from Florida to Michigan. We've got Craig up in Washington. So you're kind of across the nation here. I want everyone to hear from your lips, how many leads are you doing in a week? How many leads are you receiving in a week?
I'm receiving anywhere from 15 to 20 leads a week.
So on the high side, if you're spending let's say the 20 leads, and you're spending on average about $40. If you've got final expense, I know that'll be less money for that.
Yeah.
So maybe let's say still 15, let's say straight up 15 mortgage protection leads. So you're looking every bit of anywhere from $500 to $800 a week in a lead cost.
Oh, easy. Absolutely, without a doubt. And you know, I'm fortunately at the point in my business where I don't care what a lead costs, honestly, if it's a lead that's working for me. But you know, I mean, like, I'll give you an example. Okay, so I have one lead source that I use where it's only $18 a lead, and then I have another lead source, like you're saying, that's $59 a lead. So it does, you know, $45, $42 a lead is probably average. You know, when you say $840 a week, I would say that that's definitely about $840 a week is fair. I would say that $3,360. I mean, you know, $3,360 a month to make. Gosh, after expenses and everything, I'm probably still netting about $20,000 a month. So that is, you know, and that's after expenses, because, you know, there's some annuities in there, and, you know, not everything is mortgage protection or final expense.
And I want everyone to also understand, since Danielle has achieved a high level of sales, she's going to be on the top contracts. I've shared with you guys how that you can get all the way up to 125% contract. You can do that with Gordon Marketing. We can get you up there. All it takes is production. She's able to do the $800 to $1,000 a week of leads because she has a high contract. So when she is writing, say, $150,000 of issue paid premium, Danielle's making close to $200,000 because of her contract. So do yourself a favor, go produce more and get more efficient in the home to get that higher contract so that within 2 or 3 days, just like Danielle, you can be putting in $20,000 of premium per month. Is that a fair way to describe it, Danielle?
I would say that's absolutely correct. And I would say about a year ago, if someone told me they were spending close to $1,000 on leads, I would have looked at them sideways. But, the truth is that when the answer to everything is dial more and sit more appointments and see more people. That's the answer to everything. Because as soon as you do that, and you almost lose track of the amount of deposits you have coming in, you're going to inherently know that you can afford that on lead. Now, I got my cousin. It's his first week in doing insurance, and he ordered some leads that were new, right? And they didn't come in, so I gave him a ton of old leads. And if this gives you any sort of motivation at all, his wife went into labor, okay, and she's now recovering from a C-section. And as she and the baby are sleeping, he's dialing the old leads in the hospital room, okay? He's that excited to start. So, when I asked today, what's my excuse for not dialing the phone, and he already set 7 appointments from the old leads, and he's only gotten through like 30 or 40 of them. So, and those leads were ranging anywhere from $3 to $4 a pop.
How about
and
that?
so there aren't really too many excuses in this business when you can write your own paycheck.
So you don't have to, and please listen, please hear what Danielle's saying there. You don't have to go out next week and spend $1,000 on the leads. She did. Did you do that your very first? Well, you're saying just a year ago that was kind of freaking you out when you got started in this business. How what? Please go ahead.
Okay, back in 2012, or 2013, okay? Back in 2013, I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together for leads, okay? And when I tell you I think I've said this before, or maybe even on this call, but I was handed a stack of leads that looked like they had been run through the mud. I mean, they were wrinkled with stains on them. I mean, they were old leads. But I didn't know any better, and I just did what I was told, and I dialed those leads. And, it's amazing because we don't know what another agent did, and we don't know if another agent even called them. And so for the first few months, I never spent a dime on leads. I wasn't in a position to, And so, you can have any level of success in this business no matter where you start. I mean, you can start with the 1 application, a week from an old lead and get to where I'm going there. This is one of the main things that if anything that I said today was going to resonate with anybody on this call, I would say that there is nothing special or different about me other than that I go to work. If you guys go to work, you can do the same thing. I'm not uniquely wonderful at sales. I just follow the system, the exact system that Tim puts out, that system of getting leads, making dials, scheduling appointments, and writing insurance.
And as simple as it sounds, I still have people who are complicating it more. It's just like there's you have leads, you dial, you obey your schedule, and has our in-home script helped you a little bit? Has it kept you where you're able to still see more than just a one simplified issue term business?
Yes, you're talking about how you get more applications in the home.
Yes.
And yeah, well, I mean, all of the scripts that you've come out with, I'm not sure if it's all your work or whatever the case may be, but I share those with everybody.
Oh,
Anybody who tells me they have
that's
a
all R&D. We're talking about major. Let's see. I guess some people call it research and duplicate, or excuse me, research and develop. I call it rob and duplicate. So, no, my goodness, no, that is from, I want to be folks like you and Rob Jones and Josh Sivak and Matt Dwortsky, these men and women who are making $200,000 and $300,000 a year, and they're sharing their story. So that's where these scripts come from. We're not going to go down to Bob's local store and ask how they're doing it. We want to go to folks like you who are tremendously successful. So I will grant every person when they ask me really where those come from, I'm a major R&D'er. I rob and duplicate from the success.
And it's funny because sometimes you feel uncomfortable in the beginning saying those things, and whether it's a bold statement or whether it's something that maybe doesn't make sense to you, it's amazing how the psychology operates. It's just really amazing how the psychology of the human being operates. And now you learn, certain terms and certain words. I think also doing insurance, I think we think people are smarter than they really are. And I don't mean that to put the general public down, but you have to remember, if there's an agent on this call who just got their insurance license and has never sat on one appointment, you know more than the person you're going to see. Don't sit there and believe that you have to study all these different products and you have to know, all different, okay, well, this is pays out, and they take COPD and they don't. I mean, that's what you have an upline for. Go and see the people, help them.
Absolutely perfect. How very poignant and on point you are. That's why I love having you on this call. You make sense. Isn't that so much of this business that we're not doing the smoke and mirrors, but it just makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know how to do it any other way because I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I was ambiguous or if I was leading people in the wrong direction or, I just wouldn't be able to. I'm not confused about what I'm doing, especially another thing, too, is that if you're new and on this call and you've never had a death claim, you also don't know what that punch in the mouth is like. Like, wait a second, I just saw that guy 6 months ago. I remember when I pushed him to get the policy. Your life's going to change big time when that happens. And it makes this career idea very real for you if you haven't had experience with sudden death in the past.
Perfect. Shawner, you are doing great. I don't even interject any questions. You keep running whatever direction you're feeling blessed with, because I know with you as a sister in Christ, I implicitly trust not only your insurance skills but your personal relationship. But Shawner was asking, as far as some of the tasks that, going back a little bit, some of the tasks that you have your admin perform for you.
Absolutely. Excellent question. The answer is everything. In all seriousness, my admin, and this is going to depend on the level of expertise, and an admin is going to take some of your time. You have to remember that, especially if you're going to train them to get them to where you want to go. But my admin scrubs my applications, lets me know if I missed a spot on, where I need to sign. If she doesn't know the answer and can't fill it in herself, she asks me. She submits the application to the carrier. She checks the pending. She tries to get the policy issued within 3 days. She then will call the client when they get approved. She will fill out a thank you card. She will mail it. She tracks my business. She that is the crux of what takes, I think, a lot of agents a lot of time to finish. I am super awful at paperwork, super awful. And it's not that I can't do it, it's that I don't have the focus to do it. It's like I sit down at the desk and I go to scrub an app and then I will just get distracted by anything. I think I want a cup of coffee. Let me go get some water. How about some nuts? I mean, just anything. I'm just not good at it, and I know that. So the stack of apps that I give her on a weekly basis, she flies through those, whereas me, it's going to take me all day. So those are the basic tasks that I have my admin do. And there's a lot of people out there that will train their admin in other avenues. Like my admin's to the point now where she can successfully scrub an annuity application. Whereas in the past, I would never give anybody an annuity application because I would be terrified to, because I barely knew what I was doing. So that's some of the tasks that I have my admin do. Definitely make sure the application is in good working order and that all the information is accurate. Also, my admin has all of the links to all the mobile quoting so that she can go behind me and check and make sure the premiums are correct. Because I can tell you right now, if your premium is off by 10%, it's going to hold up your pay. If your premium is off by 2 pennies, it's going to hold up your pay. If you forgot to sign something, it's going to hold up your pay. The simplified issue life insurance business is meant to issue and pay quickly. If it's in good working order, the company wants to issue the business.
Perfect.
Is that about right, Tim?
No, that's awesome. We've got a couple agents asking about going back to your cousin, but more importantly, how you trained your cousin to do the phone script. Maybe first, would you mind going over a new lead phone script for us?
Sure. New lead phone script, I shouldn't be on the phone for more than 45 seconds with a new lead phone script. I'm going to do more harm than good. It's just who I am. I know that about me. Just once again, you have to know you and what you do in this business. My new lead phone script is very psychological. Whether it's final expense or mortgage protection, it's going to be immediately whoever answers the phone, whether it's a male or female, and there's a male or female name on the lead, I'm going to assume that the female is Jill and the male is Bob. The reason for that is I want to keep the contact real short, and I want to put them in motion if it's not them. So if Bob answers the phone, I say Bob, because if it's not Bob, he's going to get Bob. Okay, and I call that the assumption phase of my phone script. I'm assuming that Bob or Jill is answering the phone. Okay, and then also another thing I want to mention too is before I'm picking up the phone, I'm also assuming that these people want me to call. I'm assuming that they need help. I'm assuming that I'm the one to help them. Okay, the assumption is huge in life insurance sales because there's a psychology behind it that lets you know that you are there to serve these people, and you have to make yourself available fully to do that. So the first thing is assuming before you even pick up the phone. So then after you assume that it's the person that you're contacting, you want to assimilate. Now assimilate just means to absorb what the other person is putting out, and what I mean by that is if Bob answers the phone and he's angry and he answers the phone, hello, I'm going to say, Bob. I'm going to, in a sense, repeat his tone and his tonality, and I'm going to try and mimic back what I hear, so I'm going to assimilate with him. Now, my one colleague, she'll actually go as far as to do the same accent as the other person because she thinks that people like people that are like themselves, and I'm not as good as her at that, so I don't even try. But it's kind of funny, like if it's a Southern accent or a New York accent. But people, and the psychology behind this is that people like people that are like themselves. They really do. So they want they want to know that the person that's contacting them is likable and that they're like them. So Bob answers the phone, hello. I say Bob, and I immediately, if he says yeah, I know it's him, so I continue. I don't let a lull happen in the conversation. I immediately take down the guard by saying, I'm getting back to you. Okay, that's really important. Doesn't matter if it's final expense or mortgage protection. That's how I open. I'm getting back to you. regarding or about. Now, what that also does is that puts the fire out on the fact that the person that's calling, which is me, would be a solicitor or a telemarketer, right? Because solicitors and telemarketers all do the same thing. You know, Mr. Byrne, hi, Mr. Byrne, how are you? You know, I mean, they all do the same thing, you know, and the reason I don't ask how are you on the phone, there's two reasons. The first reason is I don't care, and the reason I say that I don't care is because I do care how the person is, just not right now. You know, that's not the time to ask how the person is. The second reason I don't ask how they are is because it gives them control in the conversation, and I don't want them to have control. I want to have control. So I say I'm getting back to you regarding, and then whether that be the card that you filled out, whether that be the paperwork that you filled out, or the conversation you had if you do telemarketing leads, I'm getting back to you about the blank, you know, the card you filled out. Then at that point, you know, when you want to aim at some details that are on the card. So, for example, if you can verify date of birth, if you can verify home loan amount, the lender, the way they make their J, you know, on the card, something to identify that you have that paperwork in front of you. I will usually go right to the date of birth because it's the simplest. But when I'm doing that, I will say, you wrote down 11/21/67, and you checked non-smoker, and I constantly repeat you in my phone script because, again, I'm reminding them that they filled this out, and that's why I'm calling. They asked for my help. So, again, only about 45 seconds on the phone, but there's a big punch of psychology in there. So I'm getting back to you regarding the final expense benefits card that you filled out. You wrote down here that you do not have a spouse and that your date of birth is 1/13/45. You remember doing that? Now, in that second, I will ask if they remember doing it. And I don't do that 100% of the time. I just have to feel it out because I don't feel like that is not an open-ended question. That's just a yes or no. It's not a, you know, how did you feel when you were filling out that card? You know, it's nothing like, you know, that leaves it open. So, you know, I will say sometimes do you remember doing that? And then I just wait for any sort of acknowledgement and I move on. You know, I want to find out when they're home, and I want to find out, and I want to make sure it's clear that I will be there. Coming to their house to get them the information. I always verify if the spouse is going to be there, even if there's no spouse listed on the form. I always say, you know, am I getting this information for just you or somebody else too, you know? Or is there a girlfriend, fiance, wife, anything I need to know about to make sure that we get the information out to everybody who's asked? You know, and the reason obviously you want the other one there is because, you know, decisions are made together, and if they're not, even if they're not made together, they're still going to tell you that they're made together. And then you want to just nail down when you're going to the house, and if it's a final expense card, I would ask for landmarks. You know, they tend to like to give people direction. You know, oh, is that the one with the McDonald's on the corner of Independence? Yes, it is. Okay, yes, I'm there all the time. I do let them know that I'm only going to be in that zip code for the next 2 days. So it does create a little bit of exclusivity to the phone call. You know, hey, I'm only going to be in the 23323 on Tuesday and Wednesday. Is there any reason you won't be home between 4 and 5? No, we should be there. All right, perfect. Put me on your calendar. My name is Danielle Byrne, you know, blah, 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 blah. So I know there's not a whole lot of blah, blah, blah in a phone script, but I tried to cover everything off the top of my head there. So if you need me to break it down in role play, I can do that.
You know, it's pretty straight up, isn't it? Let's just real quickly give a demonstration. I'll be the person you're calling.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Tim?
Yes.
Tim, hey, it's Danielle with the Mortgage Protection Center here in Virginia Beach. I'm getting back to you about the form that you filled out for you and your wife. Looks like you got a new loan here for about $390,000 from PNC, and you had filled that out looking for some information on the mortgage protection for you and your family. Do you remember doing that?
Yeah, we did that a few weeks back.
All right. Well, that just came back to my office here, and it looks like I've been assigned your case. I'm just going to be in the 23452 zip code for Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. You guys are still working, or are you retired?
Nope, we're both still working.
Okay. All right. So you guys are going to probably need one of my evening slots. You know, so basically, on Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm going to be in that area getting this information out to a few other folks. What time? Usually home by about 5:30 in the evening?
Usually.
Okay. I'm not too far from you at 5:30. I think I'll put you down. I'll put you and your wife down there from about 6:15, 6:30, and that way I can get this information out to you. I shouldn't take more than 15 or 20 minutes, and I will bring the card that you filled out for verification purposes. I think, hold on one second, I was just playing and then I got sidetracked. Okay, so is there any reason that I shouldn't be able to catch you guys between 6:15 and 6:30?
Yeah, that should work.
Okay, great. All right, Tim. I'm going to go ahead and put you down, and I will see you about between 6:15 and 6:30 on Tuesday. Okay.
Okay, sure. That's fine. And guys,
and if you want to give me objections, I can handle that too.
well, without getting too much of more of your time involved, because I want you to maybe make a little bit of a difference and let folks hear a phone script for an older lead. Yeah, we'll get objections. Do I really have to meet with you? Is it is it really going to take 15 minutes? Can't we just do this over the phone? I'm busy. So yeah, I will send out for those. Everyone on the call, I'll go ahead and send out our way to overcome those objections. I'll send out our current phone script that Danielle just went over. And guys, there is no secret. If you're hearing it in Danielle's voice there, it is just saying, hey, you sent this information. I like to, instead of giving them a couple days, I like to zero right in, find out if they're both working. Hey, I've got an 8 o'clock Tuesday evening. Does that work? So a lot of times that'll alleviate the other objections so that, it's not, oh, wait a minute, I need to tell him, I'm busy, I don't have time, I forgot it. And if you get to the time, a lot of times they'll forget about the other objections. How does your aged script differ? Does it differ any from the brand new lead?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so, ring.
Hello?
Tim.
Yes.
This is Danielle Byrne. I'm hoping that you can help me with something. I'm calling from the Mortgage Protection Center, and I got this card in my hand that you filled out, and I just don't have any record of anyone getting this mortgage protection information out to you and your family. You guys had a recent loan or refinance for about $390,000 from PNC Bank. I mean, you remember filling that card out?
Danielle, we did, and we actually sat with somebody, and it seemed like it was going to be just a way too expensive venture.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. You guys probably didn't get the new 2016 rates and some of the programs that give you all your cash back at the end. I tell you what, it would be a disservice to you and your family if I didn't get this information out to you. It is really important, and I do promise to find something within your needs and budget and not a penny over. And then once I give you that information, you guys can make a decision on your own there. But I tell you what, we don't have record that this information was actually given out to you, and I'm going to be in the area on Saturday, probably between 10 and 11. And, is there any reason you're not going to be home on Saturday?
We're pretty busy, Danielle.
Yeah, you know what? I'm busy too. Let me see here on my schedule. You know what? I'm dropping my son off at 7 at karate on Friday night. Why don't I stop by right after dinner time about 8 o'clock and get this information out to you? I should be in and out within 15, 20 minutes. I'll have everything prepared. And also have those older quotes that you received too out for me so I can take a look at those. Does that sound fair?
No, I suppose. You think it's going to be about 15 minutes? I'm going to hold you to that.
I hope you do. You can start the watch when I knock on the door, okay?
All right.
Okay, I'll see you Friday night about 8 o'clock after I drop my son off. Thank you.
Works, doesn't it?
What did you say?
I said it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You know, especially knowing if they didn't go with anything, you know? You got to get in there and get them something.
Good
Someone probably
point.
tried to sell them a $500 a month policy, and they just were scared.
Yeah, we're even, you know, and bless their heart, I guess we'll say that, and you can talk about anybody on anything once you say bless their heart, right? But have you ever ran into that client that says, oh yeah, we took care of it, and you actually sat down with them and find out when you get them to be honest, they never took care of it?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's happened once or twice.
They took care of it because they want to seem like they took care of it. You know, it's just not the case.
Yes. Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Unfortunate, but it does happen all the time. You know, and you're not going to win everybody. You're not going to win everybody, but there are going to be people who ask for help and fill out a card, and they intuitively know that they need help on some level, but they don't know exactly what it is. I sat down, and I'll leave you guys with this. I sat down with a couple last week who had some of the best life insurance policies that I have ever seen. And they were a final expense lead. And I'm like sitting there, scratching my head going, why the heck did they fill this thing out? You know, I just could not figure it out. And because I had a little bit of extra time and I didn't have to run off to another appointment, I just kept asking questions. They kept leading me information, so I just kept asking questions, right? So I said, do you have anything else that plays into your income? Like, are you taking required minimum distributions from anything? Because they were about 74 and 69. And she goes, yes, I have 2 annuities, right? So she pulls out these annuities, and they're 1 year past their surrender. They're completely out of surrender. They're not making any money whatsoever. It's costing her money more or less to have between the fees and the return. And I met with them again this morning, and that's why I was a little bit late getting on the call, because I rolled over the $74,000 for one of our other products. It was just, it's funny because the quality of the quality of the questions that you ask in the home will directly determine your paycheck.
Hey, I've got to let you get back to your busy day. One last question. We've got several of the ladies who are asking, what do you wear when you're sitting with these appointments?
Oh my gosh, that's an excellent question. An excellent question. If you would have asked me back in 2013, I would have said either a suit or a dress and heels. Okay. If I took a picture of what I was wearing right now, you'd definitely make fun of me. But that being said, it's funny because this morning I'm doing that paperwork, I'm doing the annuity paperwork, and they said, you know, the guy that wrote this annuity wore a full suit and didn't button his suit jacket the entire time that he was sitting at this table. And I swear he plucked his eyebrows and all this other stuff and dyed his hair and everything. And I'm like, wow, you know, and I joked around with them. I was like, can you imagine if someone was doing that paperwork at your table and wearing flip-flops and pink pants? and that's what I'm wearing today. But now, don't get me wrong, I don't look sloppy, okay? I don't look sloppy, but I'm most certainly not dressed to impress. You know, I usually wear, you know, flats. First off, I started wearing flats to my appointments because heels, I think, are intimidating to people. And plus, if they have wood floors, if you're not taking your shoes off right when you go in, they don't like that. So I've actually dressed down a lot in the past few years because I feel like it makes other people more comfortable to do that, if that makes sense. Like, if you're more comfortable in their home, then they are going to be, you know, they're going to be more comfortable, you know, as well, because of the energy that you're putting off. So I would say, without a doubt, don't dress down, don't look sloppy, no sweatpants or anything. Look like you have your life together, but don't be, you know, all stuffy and you know, wear a suit. Save that for the trainings and the conventions and all the other stuff where you're looking at the corporate bigwigs, you know. And plus, when you're more comfortable, you sell more insurance, I think.
Excellent. What way to go there. Danielle, I've got to plug in where these folks can meet up with you, because you're going to be in Meridian, Mississippi in a week and a half, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I can't wait.
Oh, guys, you heard my numbers this week, and you heard over 12,000 of my weekly production this week came from 4 federal employee benefit appointments. And do not want you to give up your mortgage protection. I love mortgage protection. I still love final expense. And we're not able to roll it out to everybody on this call. We've gone over 40 states, Danielle, on this call, from what I can kind of surmise from where we're at across this, agents we're reaching out to. So without me personally bringing it to you, hang on. You know, if you're familiar with it a little bit, go ahead, you may contact me, but you're on a greatly reduced contract. One of the major difference is that we provide the leads for you at no cost. So that's a blessing. Understand, it is not for what I would call a neophyte. It needs to be you really need to be a fairly seasoned agent, somebody who understands how a retirement works, somebody who understands how annuities work, somebody who understands how the federal employee group life insurance. We will do so much training, but we really need you to have a higher sales acumen than, quite frankly, of what it takes to be a mortgage protection or final expense salesperson, somebody who is helping folks protect their mortgage and protect their final expense. Real quickly, Danielle, what did you see in this that you liked? Besides where you live,
Federal program?
where you live is ridiculous, huh?
Well, oh my gosh. I mean, so first of all, it's funny that you were talking about the free leads because or no cost rather, but the reason why I was thinking about what I would pay for a federal lead, if it was for sale, which it's not, but if it was, I was thinking I'd probably pay up to $200. I think
That would be easy to justify, real easy to justify.
Yeah, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be? It totally would. I mean, between the lack of no-shows and forget about it. If I could, it was a no-brainer when this was brought out to me, because I live in Virginia, and the people who are military, obviously they're federal employees, but the people who have retired from the military, they usually transfer right into a civil service job, which is a federal government job. Once again, not knowing anything about their own benefits. So really and truly, it was such a seamless thought for me. It's like, of course, why would I not do that? That's just silly.
And with that, without putting too much out, if somebody is really intent of wanting to know more about it, I'll put the invite out to be on our sales call Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can plug into that. If I've not invited you to be on the program, if you showed enough ambition and you are in Meridian, Mississippi, May 2nd through the 4th, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, from 1 p.m. to 1 p.m. From 1 p.m. on Monday, we close out 1 p.m. on Wednesday. Your room, your board, your food, the training, $100, guys. You're only going to be charged $100 to be a part of that. If I wasn't able to get the invite to you, if you're there, we'll work with you. We will work with you. Last thing, and then I mean this, so I've got to let you go and let you get back to your day. Shawner is interested. Are you delivering your own policies, or are you do you mail them out?
So I do a combination of both. If it's a big boy, of course I'm going to deliver it. And I would say a big boy is anything over $250 a month or $200 a month. I'll deliver it. You want something like that to really stick. But and time, see, as much as we care about our clients, we also have to care about ourselves enough. I really don't, I don't deliver every policy. I absolutely don't. I commend you if you do. I highly respect that, but I do not. But I do a lot of follow-up, making sure that they got it, sending out the thank you card, calling them when they're approved. They don't feel like they're one and done. They don't feel like they're, completely and totally forgotten about. So no, I do not deliver all my policies, but annuities, of course, large insurance policies, IULs, yeah, absolutely.
Terrific. Danielle, you've also, again, been terrific. Leads dialed and schedule, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It is a very simple business. I'm sorry.
One more thing I want to say too is I don't like dialing. Okay, I mean, I really don't. It's my least favorite part of the whole thing, but that's where it all starts. So I do it anyway. I really don't enjoy it. I know you always say, Tim, fall in love with the basics, and you're 100% right, but I just am not in love with dialing.
I'm just in love with the basic. I've never liked to dial. I'm right there with you, but you got it. I'm just in love with the basics, but I know that's one of the basics. But don't. If somebody says they love to dial on the phone, run away.
Oh, no, right?
Oh, very good. But we do it because.
Give out my email or my phone number, whatever. If anyone has any questions or they want to talk, they can call me. It's not a problem.
Fantastic. Thank you. You are extremely genuine, and they can meet you if you guys who want to see live in person. You're invited to be down in Meridian, Mississippi, May 2nd through the 4th. Danielle, again, thank you. Everybody, if you are an agent who's making it happen, if you are interested in just, number one, blowing up your income in a very positive way. Number two, because you being an agent, you are an agent who's making it happen, you're going to bless your family with once in a lifetime, every year trips, with vacations that'll be out of this world, with schools that you can put your children in, with an ability to tithe to your church and blow away what you've done in the past. Number three, if you take care of number three, remember it always takes care of the first two. If you are an agent who makes it happen for that family in the field, number two and number one will come with it. Guys, I am excited that you are a part of our team, and I look forward to plugging in and helping you in any way. God bless you. Have a phenomenal weekend. Tuesday, we will have a gal on the phone who sets appointments, and she almost seems like she enjoys it. I'm not confident of it, but we're going to go over our how to set an appointment with 75% of the people you speak with. And then you'll hear from Jody, who is out setting appointments and doing a great job. Look forward to Tuesday, 11 a.m. Monday, 11 a.m. will be our federal employee benefit call that you'll get an invite out to that. Danielle, have a great weekend, my friend. God bless everybody.